Hi, my name is Laura Miyoshi. I am the former Chief Operations Officer for Sandy Spring Friends School. Sandy Spring Friends School is a Quaker school located in Sandy Spring, Maryland, which is located in Montgomery County, Maryland. Today, we're going to talk about a construction project that resulted in the new upper school. The school was founded in 1961 and is located, as I said earlier, in Montgomery County, Maryland. It sits on 140 acres on land which was donated by a local Quaker resident. Today, there are 15 academic buildings comprising of over 230,000 square feet of building space, 6 residential homes, and a variety of athletic fields and outdoor gathering spaces. The school is today, 2024, has almost 700 students. 81% of the faculty have advanced teaching degrees. It's an 8-to-1 student ratio, and the average class is 16 students. What is a Quaker education? The Sandy Spring Friends School is an independent Quaker school designed to provide a learning community with Friends testimonies. Friends refer to Quakers. Meeting for worship is central to its life and vitality. A challenging academic curriculum, enriched arts programs, inclusive athletics, and service opportunities to nurture and educate the whole child. Recognizing the unique worth of each person, the school strives to develop individual talents and foster caring and effective citizens of the world. The foundation for the educational experience at SSFS is exhibited in the following pillars: teachers as mentors. It's an inquiry-based approach. The process is question, reflection, and action. Experience-based learning using the 140-acre campus, as well as local and global experiences, and community, a diverse collaborative community of faculty and staff and students, parents past and present, alumni, and local. Friends from the local meeting, friends from Friends House, which is a retirement and skilled nursing facility, as well as the local community of Sandy Spring, Maryland. The tenets of Quakerism are what we call the spices: simplicity, peace, integrity, community, equality, and stewardship. These underlie and are the foundation for a Quaker Friends education. So why did the school undertake this project? It was actually the result of their 2012 strategic plan. There were 5 key goals in that plan, and the last action point to achieve was enhance the academic program of the upper school by building a new green primary structure that encourages high-level intellectual pursuit, creativity, collaboration in a larger, more flexible technology-equipped classroom. The school at the time before building the new upper school was scattered. The high school was scattered in 6 different buildings, ranging from construction age of 1961 up to the 1980s. There were limitations on the ability to provide a technologically equipped classroom as well as innovation. So what was the process, the design process? A lot of folks have asked about this, and when we refer back to our spices, we're going to display or show how we followed our Quaker process. First of all, there was immense collaboration. So we had the design team conducted several charrettes, including students, including board members, including faculty, staff, parents, all to solicit input on what we were looking for in a new high school, or as we've referred to, the upper school. Environmental stewardship was key before even taking on the new upper school. The school had implemented 1 megawatt solar array. It had an on-site farm. At the peak, it was producing about 2,000 pounds of produce and composting all of the food scraps from the dining room and the kitchen at about 60,000 pounds per year. In looking at the new building, there was a review of many or several different green building considerations. There was LEED, there was the International Living Building Challenge, and there was WELL building. The committee for the project at Sandy Spring Friends School visited facilities that were LEED certified, gold and platinum. They visited a facility that had achieved the International Living Building Challenge certification, and there were no high schools that were certified in the WELL building standard. The WELL building standard was introduced by the design team, and it was selected due to the basic ethos of a building design that would support the well-being and health of the occupants. Sandy Spring Friends School was certified under version 1. There were 7 features or strategies for version 1, which are air, water, nourishment, light, fitness, comfort, and mind. And the end result was a 3-story, 42,000 square foot building serving over 300 students in grades 9 to 12. Several of the unique design features included collaboration spaces, lighting, art displays, and specific features that tied directly into the spices. Simplicity. There was a simplicity in the design. Peace. The building is actually anchored by the meditation garden and the school's meeting house. Integrity. Providing a facility that maintained, supported, and enhanced our foundation of Quaker education. Community. There were actually more collaboration spaces than actual physical classrooms. As you can see, looking at the photos here, classrooms are well lit, they're well designed, and as you can see here, it brings in the outdoors into the building. Students meet and greet in the many collaboration spaces. Teachers use the classrooms to their fullest functions. And equality was achieved through our gender-neutral restrooms. And for the stewardship portion, one of the areas that we were able to achieve was recycling 30 ash trees that had been damaged by the emerald ash borer and using those for trim throughout the building. The building was certified gold, well certified gold in April, of 2022. The building was honored for its design and for being the first high school in the United States to be certified by the WELL Building Standard as gold.
You did great. I've got a few questions. Do you have a few minutes?
Yes.
Okay. So, first and foremost, I think the thing that I love the most about being in this space, I met you for the first time 6 days ago. And while you were giving me and a few other people from Baltimore, shout out to the folks, Jason and Jonathan from New Song Academy in Baltimore, we all took part of a tour, and you gave an awesome tour of the building, and here you are. But the thing that I love most about this space is that people are always ready, willing to share how they did what they did in this space. I don't know if that's part of what you would call Quakerism or if it's just being in this space, but I appreciate you for that.
Thank you.
Talk to me a little bit about in some of the presentations that we've had, one of the gentlemen, Stuart Kaplow, said that, bigger than greenhouse gas reduction and decarbonization, food waste is a big issue that needs to be addressed. And it sounds like you guys were very intentional about food waste and composting. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. We started back in the early 2000, maybe 2009, 2010, in creating a compost operation. And we actually worked with a professor from the University of Maryland Agriculture Department to create a 6-chamber compost system. And every day, the food scraps from the dining room, both the kitchen, because most of our food is made from scratch, not frozen pre-prepared food, and the scraps from the students' dishes are collected and processed through the our compost operation. This was a way to eliminate, obviously, the amount of trash going into the landfill, but we also then turned that compost and used it on the school's farm. So I used to term it as waste to plate, or we could reverse it and say plate to waste. But there was a full cycle of the food products used at Sandy Spring Friends School.
Wow, that's amazing. One of the things we noticed as well is people know that I travel with my indoor air quality monitors. Kind of don't leave home without them, and traveling from Baltimore down to where you are, you get some carbon dioxide that builds up in the car if I don't roll down my windows. But then as soon as we walked into the building, the numbers dropped to, I think, like 515, 512 carbon
It was
dioxide
actually in the 480.
in the 480s parts per million. And folks that don't know, that is, outdoor air is between 3 and 400 parts per million when it comes to carbon dioxide. Rarely, very rarely, do you get below 500 in a building. And on top of that, even more importantly, in my opinion, was the relative humidity was right at 48%. And it said that 47% is that magic number, which is not easy to get to.
Sure.
But even some of our guests were just like, it feels so comfortable inside of this building. So the intention that went into thermal comfort and indoor air quality, was that something that had the risk of being value engineered out, or was that kind of, a solid commitment is what it sounds like?
It was a solid commitment. And I have to say, having not been on campus for almost a year, it was a great joy for me to see the building performing as designed. Value engineering is a challenge for all folks, particularly in this age of construction. However, the school was committed to meeting the gold standard, and we knew we could not value engineer the systems that would provide that indoor air quality.
Yes, yes, thank you for that. Final as we close out, and thank you so much for your time. The building is performing as designed. Um, most buildings do not perform as designed. They're notoriously expensive to operate, and they just don't do what they're supposed to do. But the fact that your buildings are actually doing that takes a lot of intention, a lot of planning, a lot of collaboration. And what were some of the barriers, or maybe one barrier that you had to overcome in this process? If someone else is watching this and considering trying to do something similar to what you did at their school, what would you say is a barrier to overcome?
I would say it's not necessarily a barrier, but what I would say is that in order to achieve this, you need the right design team. And if there was a barrier, it was maintaining the design as, or maintaining the construction as designed. Because as you said, it's very easy to start thinking, well, we're a little bit over budget. We need to cut our expenses here. The materials are coming in more expensive than thought. But it's keeping to your mission. And what I will say for Sandy Spring Friends School, it was beyond a mission. It was a passion. It was my passion. It was the school's passion. And we had a goal of of achieving the well building standard. And I have to say, the whole team was going with that same goal. They were all looking to achieve that.
Yes, Quakers have a long history here in Maryland, and I'm sure other parts of the country. But I know Harriet Tubman would not be Harriet Tubman without the Quakers. I know
Right.
Frederick Douglass would not be Frederick Douglass without the Quakers.
Absolutely.
And what you have done here at this property that I've had the pleasure of touring last week, 6 days ago, is absolutely amazing and a model for not only Maryland, not only the nation, but the world, in my opinion. You've done a fabulous job of this building. And thank you for your time, your subject matter expertise, and your thought leadership in this space.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you. Have a great day. Thank you so much, Laura. All right. Bye bye.